Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So welcome to another new video on my YouTube channel. And in today's video, I wanted to make it beginner friendly. So I'm gonna sketch some everyday items in my kitchen. So yesterday was a rainy day and I spent the whole day at home relaxing and getting organized for my upcoming classes. And so I sketched a little pack of seaweed and a box of mushrooms from grocery shopping, and today I will sketch more. Okay, now let's go. And so first of all, I'm gonna sketch the sweet soy sauce, the Lincoln Key brand. Yeah, the well-known Hong Kong brand that we can see everywhere in the Chinese and Asian supermarkets. Let's do that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna start with my brand new Sailor's fountain pen, the bamboo green color with the 55-degree bent nib. And I'm gonna have it a little bit behind the box of mushrooms. So I just drew the oval shape of the top of the cap. The body part, as you can see, is a cylinder, drawing these quick vertical lines for the texture and the ring printed on the cap. The long shoulders and the body part of the bottle. So I always found bottles to be fun to draw because they're kind of like abstract human mannequins, having head, shoulders, and body part. As you can see, the very bottom of the bottle and the top and bottom line of the label, they're all curving, following the three-dimensional curve of the cylinder. Yeah, same for this paper label here, on the shoulder area. The top and bottom is following the three-dimensional curve of the smaller cylinder of the neck area. And then writing down these words and letters in both Chinese and English, the name of the brand, using very gentle hand pressure, these vertical lines for the shine of the glass bottle. Now just adding these little words and graphics on the big label here on the body part. Yeah, this is the banner. So again, all horizontal lines on a cylindrical surface are always curving around, following the surface curve. Same with the big and small banner here on the label. Same with these words and letters, they're all following the surface curve as well, but you don't have to be perfect with it. Just try your best, just be aware of the surface curve. And that's a Chinese letter meaning sweet, a fried egg, veggie, and some minced meat on top of rice. Yeah, so just an image for suggested serving. And just accentuate the top and bottom of the label. That's very much it for the line work. So much fun drawing with a fountain pen. Okay, so the next step is for watercolor painting. So I'm gonna use my two Holbein water brushes and the Mungyo watercolor palette. And of course, as usual, I'll need my towel to clean my brush tips. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna wet the whole surface of the bottle with a little bit of clear water. So it's just easier for the first layer of wash to go very smoothly on the paper surface. The paper is a little rough, coat pressed paper. So I'm gonna paint the label part. When I'm painting anything, I always like to start painting the yellows and oranges first. So this is yellow ochre. Not diluted too much. Yellow ochre mixed with a little bit leftover green. There's a tiny bit of green in this yellow. As I observe and feel the color on the bottle that I see in front of me, it's not a perfect yellow. Okay, just adding some leftover green for that veggie there on the graphic and leftover yellow for that egg yolk. Alright, so now it's time to paint the first layer of the soy sauce. The lightest color or value that is sensed is a sepia color, not black. If you shake a soy sauce bottle, you're gonna see the actual color of soy sauce is actually brown, pretty saturated color. Yeah, so if you shake the bottle, you're gonna see this nice chocolate brown on the wall of the bottle. To make sure that your painting had a sense of depth, you had to be able to see through the many layers of color values of any object, not just one. So that's the lightest color value that I see for the soy sauce. I'm gonna let it dry before painting a denser layer. Okay, just adding some little polish here and there. Now it's time to shade the glass bottle with leftover gray, which is a mix of cobalt blue and purple diluted with a lot of water, leaving some streaks white for the highlights on the glass bottle. A bit more contrast for the glassy areas using leftover gray. Now it's time to have fun painting the dense soil sauce. So this is a color very close to black, but it's actually dark sepia, containing a very high ratio of cobalt blue and lower ratio of burnt sienna. As you can see, I'm continuing to skipping around those highlights on the neck area of the bottle. To make the bottle look more realistic, it's a glassy bottle. Make sure we have shines. And I believe it's pretty much the same color scheme and technique when you're painting iced tea or Coca-Cola. So those dark colored drinks, they are not black. They are concentrated dark browns. Okay, so now I'm just having fun painting these reds and oranges on the label. Shade the left side with a bit of leftover gray. The windows on the right, left side of the bottle, including the label, the neck and the cap area is shaded on the left. So when you're shading anything that you paint, make sure that you're first aware of where the light source comes from. If it's on the right, then the shaded side on that object should be on the left. And a lot of times that shaded side is not super obvious, especially on an overcast or a rainy day. So you could always accentuate that shaded side a little bit darker than it seems. Alright, so lastly, it's time to paint the shadow. First of all, using leftover sepia for the reflective color of the soy sauce on the table. Let it dry off a little bit. And then a quick brushstroke of leftover blue purplish gray around the bottom edge, and that's it. Usually glass bottles, they don't have very dark shadows or big shadows. Okay, so here's the look of my finished sketch of the bottle of soy sauce. Alright, so moving on, as you can see, the rainstorm clouds are gathering outside the window, but actually any day is a good day containing great sketching opportunities for me. So I just want to record the weather. The last day of February the 29th, 2024, every 4 years. So I spent the first few seconds drawing a rectangular frame, the lamp post, and the contour outline of the rooftops that I see, just focusing on these big general shapes that I see. Now, I am overlapping this maple tree in front of a couple of houses on the right-hand side, starting with these major branches, connecting them together into the trunk. So depending on how I feel, I might start drawing the major branches of a tree first, connecting them into a trunk, or the trunk first, and then the branches spreading out, splitting from the boughs. And then now I'm just adding these minor branches and twigs in between the negative spaces of the branches. Okay, now it's time to move on to adding further definitions for these houses, starting from the left side. I see a chimney, a lot of triangles, dividing the rooftop into shapes. Rectangular prism for the chimney on the very left, and the edge of the roof dividing the second floor and the ground floor. Now starting to move on to these smaller units. From the left side, I see windows in small rectangle shapes, and some more windows on the top floor, probably the bedroom windows. Okay, that's it for all the details for the first house. The windows are the most important, and then we can omit all other details. Now moving on to dividing the second house into the top floor and the ground floor. And then starting to add these windows for the top floor, the balcony here in the middle section, and more windows on the right hand side. And these are the ground level windows and shrubs and garage door there, dividing the roof into 3, 4, or 5 units of triangles and trapezoids, adding these quick parallel lines for the shingles on the roof, the texture. Okay, so that's the two main houses. Now I'm starting to draw, actually, first of all, more details, the shingles for this first house, and then quickly doodling in the trees in very organic contour outlines, two seagulls passing by, and then dividing the roof for the third house. Quick suggestions of windows and rooftop shapes. Same for this one. These windows are very much like dots, but they're more far away. That's it for the drawing part. Okay, now it's time to have fun painting watercolors again. So it's gonna be of a very limited color scheme. Starting to wet the sky area with clear water. Now, first of all, I want to put a bit of diluted yellow ochre just for the sun. No matter what the weather is during the day, the sun is always shining and trying to push through the clouds. And same for these house exteriors. A lot of them actually had like a yellow painted exterior anyway. Okay, so everything had a unity with a glowing yellow. Yeah, so even though it's a cold and overcast day, I still want to show a little bit of warmth. The sun is always shining during the day, and I don't want to make this picture look way too cold. Now, starting to add in these cold colors for the overcast sky, having fun mixing cobalt blue and royal purple together. Yeah, and this fluff of smoky cloud floating in the middle of the sky. And this time, the overcast sky is not too boring. It does have these little tufts of smoky clouds floating in the middle and close to the horizon. Yeah, so just playing with a mix of cobalt blue and royal purple and a tiny bit of green to get my own lively grays for these cloud shades. Enjoying the process, living in the moment. Now, I'm starting to add in these warm colors of the house exteriors, using a slightly more concentrated yellow ochre and viridian green. First layer for the trees, slightly diluted. Second layer, viridian green, more concentrated. So there's a little bit value transition for the trees and the shrubs in the front. Diluted burnt sienna with a little bit of blue. Higher ratio of cobalt blue in burnt sienna for some other rooftops. So these roofs are all different shades of browns and sepias. So on an overcast day, one or perhaps two sides of a house could be shaded. So just adding slightly darker shade for the left side of each of these houses, same for the left side of the rooftops. Painting in the tree here with leftover sepia. Shade certain areas of the branches with some blue tones. Windows, final polish. Yeah, these windows are reflecting the greens around, so they could be turquoise colored. All right, so here is a look of my finished sketchbook page. It took me 2 lazy afternoons on the last day and second last day of February 2024 to get it done. Sometimes if you're feeling tired, it's okay to slow down a little bit and really take your time to get the page done. There's no need to rush it. The point is to enjoy and savor every moment. They're making those lovely lines and soothing watercolor washes on paper. Okay, so by the way, I forgot to mention the type of paper that I recommend for taking my online classes, or just to get one to sketch on your own, to practice on your own. So I really recommend the Canson brand XL series watercolor sketch pad containing 30 sheets of heavyweight watercolor paper. And the size I really like is the 9 inches by 12 inches one. It's about A4 size, and I like to work nice and big most of the time. The paper weight is 140 pounds, okay? And the paper is just lovely for ink-line drawings. The paper is cold pressed, but the surface is not way too rough, so it's actually pretty smooth for most pens to glide on it, and it's perfect for all my watercolor techniques. And it comes in another format, in a spiral bound sketchbook format. Both of these two about the same price. It's about like 17 Canadian dollars, 17 to 20 Canadian dollars, depending on the store you're buying. Yeah, the same. They have this very much the same cover, sky blue cover, Canson, the big XL letters on it, right in the middle. And yeah, so if you like this video, please click like and leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates. So I try to update my channel with 2 fresh new videos every week. One on urban sketching, including cafe sketches and buildings, landscapes at parks. So when the days are getting warmer, I'm planning to go out more often rather than getting stuck at cafes. So in April and on, I'll be sketching more outdoor sceneries, urban sketches, and nature sketches. Another video of the week would be beginner friendly, like these everyday items, like my grocery shopping items, simple views outside my home windows. Alright, so I'll see you again in the next video very soon. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.